If I told you that the next 6 months of your life could redefine everything, not just how you look or what you earn, but how you think, how you feel, how you walk into rooms, and with quiet confidence instead of hidden doubt. You see, people wait years for the right moment. They wait for a perfect time that never comes. But real change doesn't begin when the world changes. It begins when you do. It begins with one decision. One moment of truth where you stop lying to yourself, stop settling for less, and decide that enough is enough. The clock is ticking whether you act or not, so why not start now? 6 months may sound like a short span, but it's enough to completely rebuild your mindset, your routines, and your destiny. It's enough to go from confusion to clarity, from self-doubt to self-belief, from fatigue to fire. Imagine waking up 6 months from now and not recognizing your old self, not because you forgot them, but because you outgrew them. Think about it. 180 days of focused effort can lead to what 5 years of hesitation couldn't give you. Time is not your enemy. Indecision is. Most people live the same year over and over again, calling it a life. They wake up, scroll through their phones, complain about their jobs, make excuses and repeat. Not because they lack potential, but because they lack commitment. They think motivation will magically arrive one day and transform everything. But motivation is fleeting. Discipline is what builds empires. Consistency is what creates transformation. You will not always feel like it, and that's okay. You're not supposed to. What matters is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. You have 6 months to become unrecognizable, to the people who doubted you, to the ones who gave up on you, and most importantly, to the version of you that you're trying to leave behind. This is not just about chasing success. This is about choosing evolution. It's about becoming sharper, more intentional, more resilient. It's about breaking the cycle of wasting time, blaming circumstances and waiting for someone else to rescue you. 6 months of waking up early. 6 months of working out, of reading books, learning skills, saying no to distractions, choosing growth over comfort, replacing comfort food with real fuel, replacing toxic people with uplifting voices, replacing doubt with action. Each small decision compounds, and before you know it, your life begins to shift. Slowly at first, then all at once. But make no mistake, it won't be easy. There will be days when you want to quit, when your mind tells you it's not working, when the people around you don't understand why you've changed. That's when you dig deeper. Because pain is part of the process. Growth demands discomfort. Discipline feels like punishment in the moment, but it's freedom in the long run. Freedom from regret, freedom from weakness, freedom from being average. You were not born to live on repeat. You were not created to drift. Deep inside you, beneath the layers of fear and hesitation, there's a fire, a vision, a voice that says, I was made for more. And that voice deserves to be heard. It deserves to be honored, not silenced. 6 months of honoring that voice will change everything. Your body, your mind, your soul. All of it aligns when you finally take yourself seriously. Do you know what's worse than failure? Regret. Regret of never trying. Regret of wasting time. Regret of knowing you could have been more, done more, become more, but you didn't because fear won. Because you stayed in your comfort zone. Don't let your future self look back in pain. Let them look back in pride and say, that's when it all changed. You don't need the approval of others to begin. You don't need fancy equipment, a perfect environment, or even a detailed plan. What you need is hunger. Hunger to evolve. Hunger to rise. Hunger to become someone that the younger version of you would be proud of. That the older version of you will thank. 6 months. That's about 180 days. If you sleep 8 hours, that's 16 hours a day of opportunity. Over 2,800 hours total. What will you do with them? Will you spend them scrolling, binging, complaining and doubting? Or will you invest them in creating the future you secretly dream about? The future you think about when no one is watching? The one you've almost given up on because you think it's too late. But it's not too late. It never is. As long as you're breathing, you still have time. Not unlimited time, but enough. This is your wake-up call. Not just to hustle harder, but to live smarter. to live with purpose, to cut the noise, silence the doubts, and move with conviction. Every great comeback starts with a small decision, or this can be yours. You can either spend the next 6 months complaining about where you are, or you can spend them creating the life you were meant to live. One leads to more frustration, the other leads to freedom. The choice is yours. And when it gets tough, because it will, remember why you started. Remember that version of you who felt stuck, tired, invisible. That version who dreamed of breaking free. That's who you're doing it for. Not to impress the world, but to liberate your soul. Because deep down, your soul knows the truth. You were not born to be average. You were born to rise,